Hi, I'm Lynn Williams. I'd like to take a few minutes to tell you a little about me and my project. I'm an internet marketing business owner, speaker, and author. I've been self-employed for most of my career, having built several businesses in information technology, real estate investing, and public speaking. Unfortunately, my businesses fell victim to a personal crisis, the downturn, and the economic recession in rapid succession. My personal crisis wasn't my health, it was the loss of two family members, my husband and my younger sister, within 6 months of each other back in '05 and '06. Historically, I've always had the ability to recover quickly from challenges and reversals, but this time things were different. Instead of springing back after a few weeks or months, it's taken me 6 years. Many factors contributed to the slowness of my comeback, but the biggest and most devastating has been the economy. Life as we know it has changed forever. The resultant shifts in perceptions and beliefs just won't allow us to ever go back to the way things were. While I can't go into great detail in this video, I invite you to read my details and business plan to fully understand what I'm doing and why. The project is about saving our women and our future, not just about me. Here's a little history about how I went from owning businesses that produce seven-figure net worths to living on unemployment, which doesn't even cover my basic expenses. In 2004, I left a successful 33-year career as an IT consultant to begin a new career as a full-time real estate investor, speaker, and author. I was quite successful at both until 2005 when things began to fall apart soon after my husband passed. As soon as I was able, I started looking for a job in IT. Finding jobs had always been easy for me, so I really wasn't worried, but I was very wrong. I sent out hundreds of resumes over the next 3 years and only had two interviews, one in IT and one in an IT-related management position. I came in second both times. Because I'd been self-employed, I had no unemployment benefits. To make ends meet, I sold everything as quickly as I could, but after several years with no income, I was completely broke. I ended up on welfare, living with friends. Finally, in March 2008, I found a job working at a real estate servicing company in their REO sales department. I began as a temp but was hired a few months later permanently. However, I was laid off in January 2010 after 18 months of employment because there wasn't enough REO inventory to support my position. I've been on unemployment since then, but after my experience with the job market before, I knew my chances of getting back to work quickly were very slim. Over the years, I've met many women in my age group that are facing the same situation. The changes in the job market, the economy, and the loss of savings and investments has put most of us in financial distress. We're often the last to be considered for a job because companies consider us too old, overqualified, and overskilled. It's hard for us to compete with younger workers with fresher skills and educations. I'm also hearing about a new problem called unemployment discrimination, which is making things worse. This is where companies narrow down the number of resumes they'll consider for a position by eliminating those who've been out of work for more than 6 months. Well, since we're very often the last to be considered for a job, most of us are falling into this category. Yahoo ran an article describing this deplorable practice just a few days ago, and I've placed a link to this article in my summary. Please take a minute to review it because consequences of this practice are dire. But I knew from my job searching before that this would be the challenge, so I decided to try and rebuild my real estate investing business while looking for a new job. I knew the business and I knew several nothing down strategies, but for whatever reason I couldn't get anything going. The downturn and the recession had changed the game. I didn't have my own money anymore, and many of the financial partners I'd worked with before were either broke too or no longer investing. So it didn't take long for me to realize this wasn't the answer. So I started researching, looking for the best chance a solution to the best chance for me to create a new source of income, and discovered that it would be the internet. My research revealed that the internet marketing would be the next big industry, and 2012 would be the year it would explode. So I started working on rebuilding my internet business late last fall. I had very little money, but I had knowledge, skills, and I was highly motivated. So I created a website, joined a couple of affiliate marketing programs, and started working. I knew that my success depended on building a customer list, and the best way to do that was to create my own products and write my own articles, which I did. But as I said, things had changed. The technologies and marketing techniques I used before were now obsolete. Today, almost everything depends on having great sales copy, great web content, and social media marketing. While I'm great at writing articles and books, copywriting and social media marketing are not my strong suits. And try as I might, I wasn't successful as I needed to be to get my business off the ground. But going through the processes had connected me with lots of other women who were trying to do the same thing, and that's starting new online businesses. I soon realized they were facing the same challenges and dilemmas that I was facing, namely the need for websites, great content, and mastering social media marketing. It seems these three critical business functions were becoming showstoppers for us. The biggest problem we faced was we didn't have the budgets to buy the services. Most of us were starting with very little money, with no experience in these areas, and it meant that our businesses weren't growing, we weren't making any money, and we were going broke, giving up in frustration. I felt like doing the same myself, but I just couldn't quit, so I kept looking for answers. I knew there was one out there, and I hoped I could find it in time. Well, the good news is, I think I have. Through my contacts and perseverance, I found several solutions to these challenges, so I decided to build a business-to-business service around it. In a nutshell, I want to create a co-op so we can share the expenses of buying these services. I've spoken to several other women about this, and they like the idea. To make it work, though, I need new software systems and to hire and train professionals in these areas to use these systems to increase their productivity. I also need to upgrade my 6-year-old computer system to handle the new software and to network and support my staff. The quality of this video is low because it was recorded with my old 6-year-old camera and software. I need a new one for my video products, which are part of the new software products I'm developing. Additionally, I'll need to do aggressive advertising of my service to get the word out to as many new business owners as possible, as quickly as possible. I've already acquired 2 of the software systems I need, but I still need the third one and to upgrade my computer equipment to handle the workload. I want to instill a sense of urgency in you because the need for this service is great. We are women who've been productive members of society for most of our lives. We're used to working and making our own way. We don't want welfare or unemployment. We're creative, motivated, and still interested in making meaningful contributions to society. I'm asking you to help me to help us. We have to create a new way for ourselves and our families. Unfortunately for us, most of what's being done to support our country's economic recovery does not include us. Did you know that? We're caught in the middle of being too young for retirement and Social Security, that is for those of us who still have retirement assets, and considered too old to be competitive by corporate America. There are no social programs for us to fall back on, and we don't want that anyway. What we want is to make our own way and to do it with dignity and grace. Besides, if we can be successful as online entrepreneurs now, we can blaze the trail for those who are coming after us. We could actually create new jobs and contribute to our country's recovery instead of adding to the problem by burdening our families and social programs with a huge wave of baby boomers who are going to be homeless, helpless, poverty-stricken women with broken spirits. You are the key to our salvation and prosperity. Remember, we are your mothers, sisters, friends, aunts, and grandmothers, and we're still strong, vital, vibrant women and very much alive. And science is helping us to live longer, which means we need to make a way to support ourselves again. If you help us, we can help many others. This is not just our problem, it's yours too. What happens to us will happen to everyone. So I hope that you will open your hearts and your pocketbooks and help us create the lives that we deserve. After all, we built this country, and we can help it recover. So I thank you for listening, and I thank you in advance for your support. God bless.